Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso, a podcast where we rarely drink coffee, but we always talk about Bring Me the Horizon.
Ain't that the truth? Is it possible for an EP to get Album of the Year?
It should be. If it isn't, it should be, because this EP is spectacular. And in case you couldn't already tell, today we are reviewing Bring Me the Horizon's latest EP, Post-Human Survival Horror.
Yeah, I figured we'd just handle this like any other album review that we've done. Unfortunately, it's only 9 songs and only 32 minutes long.
On the bright side, it means you can listen to it over and over again several times on like your normal commute to work. My normal commute to work.
Yeah, if you live in the Pacific Northwest. But
or California. Californians have bad traffic.
So the album's been out for just over 2 weeks now.
We ended up reviewing 8 out of 9 songs.
Yeah. And we should have just reviewed the last one.
We should have just reviewed one by one because that one is incredible.
Mm.
It did deserve its own review, so
yeah.
Very sorry.
So we are planning on doing a collab with another channel in December talking about albums of the year. And I think it says a lot about this project that without a question, this is going to be up for debate of album of the year for us.
For sure. This is some of the best music I've heard in a long time. I know that I haven't listened to old Bring Me the Horizon, but what their new sound is right now is right up my alley, and I love every single song on this album almost equally.
I think as a project as a whole, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So we did just finish watching the interview Ollie Sykes did with Consequence of Sound. I'm pretty sure that's the one that a lot of you guys were talking about, how that we needed to watch it. We didn't want to watch any sort of interviews or anything like that before we finished reacting to all the tracks on the album, just because we wanted a really true, raw reaction of what we felt. I didn't want any other influence on us. And so we'll link that in the description as well. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a phenomenal interview. And it kind of validated a whole lot of our opinions on the project as well, which is really cool. So let's just kind of go into it. We'll break it down song by song, and then we'll recap it. How does that sound?
Great.
Okay. Also, a link in the description is going to be a playlist for all of the reactions we did. If you guys haven't seen the reactions, I don't know how you found us, but
welcome.
How's it going?
And you should check out the other videos. All right. 9 songs, 32 minutes and 11 seconds, released October 30th, 2020. Fun fact that you'll learn if you watch the interview that we linked down below. Most of this album, except for Ludens, was written in quarantine with all of the band members separate and sending each other music files. And then it was mixed and mastered remotely.
All right. So track 1 opens up with Dear Diary.
Crazy heavy, crazy punk sound.
Yes.
Way different than anything I had heard, because the very first Bring Me the Horizon song I listened to was Obey, followed by Parasite Eve. And those 2 songs are so like techno.
It's got
EDM. They're just so not as heavy as Dear Diary.
Yeah.
Dear Diary like shocked me because I did not expect that sound at all.
I was definitely in shock over it too, the first couple of times listening to it, because even going back to like their roots and some of the stuff that I know them from on those first couple of CDs, it was a whole lot more punk. It was a completely different style than their like mallcore, metalcore, deathcore type of sound that they had. It was fast. It was in your face. I love it.
It was so fast. It's so fast. I mean, the song is only 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Like there's so much that is like compacted into that 2.5 minutes.
It is, but it does a really good job of, I think, setting up and opening up the album for what should be expected.
It's a great intro.
Yeah, and in the interview, Ollie talks about how he wanted it to be an intro sort of to Parasite Eve. And then Parasite Eve is the next song on it, which I
Mm-hmm.
think flowed really well.
Mm-hmm.
That one was so much more of like a grungier techno version of metal. And I know we had talked about that on the Parasite Eve.
You called it like goth clubcore,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Um, and Ollie, when he talks about it, he said that he wanted the album to kind of feel like a like who was it? Slayer went into the Matrix.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely exactly what we were hearing from it is what they were wanting to portray from it as
Yes.
well. So that was really cool to see. Um,
I think Parasite Eve might be my favorite song
Is
off
it?
this EP. Yes, I love the fast-paced, like almost dance
Mhm.
vibe this song gives. I thought the music video was incredible. I loved this video.
Yeah.
It was so dark. It was so eerie. I loved every aspect of it. I thought it was great. So yeah, this is probably my top fave. But then also I liked it because, I didn't realize until you guys pointed out in the comments that like this song was written before quarantine.
Mm.
This song was written before that. And to me, it has such a, like, now knowing that it was written beforehand, it is such a like prophecy
Yeah.
type
It's
song. Like, it has so much foreshadowing for actual events
actual
of our
2020.
world.
Yeah. I think yeah, this very well goes. I mean, it very well kind of depicts like that first half of 2020.
Where everyone was like, this is kind of chaotic and a
And
little
that's
terrifying.
something that Ollie said in the interview as well, is that he wanted this album, he wanted this EP to reflect 2020, so that you could really look back at it. And that was,
it does.
yeah,
Holy shit.
it does.
It reflects it.
For me, really quick before we go on to Teardrops, Parasite Eve for me, it's always the song that kind of takes me by surprise.
Which is
still,
funny because at first you were like,
yeah, well, and I don't know, maybe it's just that same sort of thought process going into it is like, okay, it's a good song.
Yeah.
But then like halfway through the song, I really get into it.
Yeah, it's because there's that breakdown.
Yeah.
And it goes from being this like club sound to something way heavier after the breakdown. And it's fire. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great song. And then straight into Teardrops. Teardrops might be my favorite song on the album.
It's definitely in my top 3.
Yeah, it was something that I thought was going to be very, very radio friendly. Sort of like their single, right? I thought it was going to be their radio play single, right? And about halfway through the song, it kind of has that same vibe of like, okay, they're going soft with this one. And I was kind of worried for it. But then it didn't go soft.
Right.
He doubled down on the heaviness, and it was even heavier than what he had brought to the table with Ludens and Parasite Eve and Obey.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an excellent choice. That, I don't know, it's still, I think it kind of shocked me when I first saw it, or first heard it rather.
Yes. I mean, again, I'm basing all of this off knowing nothing besides this EP from Bring Me the Horizon. And so each song, honestly, has just like left me with my jaw dropped because it is all so different. And I've said this in every single reaction to Bring Me the Horizon. Every song is different from each other.
They are.
They have mastered genre bending. And it all still sounds like Bring Me the Horizon, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I guess the only other song off this album that I haven't listened to is Doomed.
No, this one, Doomed was
way back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only song that I have listened to that wasn't on this album.
Yes, okay.
I think, did I say the only song I haven't listened to?
Yeah.
I don't know. What I meant to say is the only song not from this EP that I know is Doomed.
Okay.
Anyway, Teardrops, again, the music video was amazing.
Well, and I think this one hit the hardest at the mental illness side of what 2020 brought to the table.
Yes.
And
without a doubt.
I don't know, they played into that so well. And it just hit very hard. I mean, the topic was heavy, the sound was heavy. This might be one of my favorite songs to come out this year.
Yeah.
That's just how much I feel about it.
I could listen to Teardrops on repeat. just over and over and over again.
For sure.
All right, song number 4 is Obey featuring Young Blood. Again, I had no idea what to expect, and it surprised me. I'm going to say that about every song. Every single song on this EP surprised me.
This song for me is what started my understanding of how well they bend and kind of go with the flow with people. Because this sounds a whole lot more like a Youngblood song. But at the same time, this is a Bring Me the Horizon song. It is not a Youngblood song featuring Ollie, right? And so it's very interesting to see that. And then you see that throughout the rest of the EP is how much they shift their sound and how much they can do from all these other bands, how they can kind of cater towards that.
All right, and then it goes into the intro for Kingslayer, which is Itch for the Cure. The full title is Itch for the Cure, When Will We Be Free? And that's kind of like your prelude into Kingslayer. I loved the video game sound of it. I loved that introduction to baby metal at the very end of this song.
I think it was necessary too. I liked their choice of putting a prelude or an intro into Kingslayer, because
versus going straight in from Teardrops,
from Obey. Yeah, going straight in from Obey, I don't think it would have transitioned as well. And then also, I don't think Kingslayer. Kingslayer doesn't need the intro if you just want to listen to Kingslayer itself.
Right. But it's a nice bridge between the two songs. I'm very particular about how I like songs to flow on an album. I like the end of one song to lead in really beautifully to the beginning of the next song. And if it doesn't have a good flow, I typically don't listen to the album beginning to end. And I will cherry pick the songs that I like, and then I will piece them together in a way that I think flows. This album flows.
It does.
Like, so seamlessly.
It does. And it's not just because it's a small EP. I think that EPs even struggle with that even more, because it's almost like, this is a mini album. They're really good at what they're doing, or what they do rather. And this is more of a mini album than it is an EP. Typically, when you look at EPs, I kind of feel like it's like, okay, here's some stuff we've been working on. You guys can have it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of stuff. It's songs that didn't make the cut for their real album, or songs that they're still working on but wanted to go ahead and put out a little bit.
Typically, it's similar sound because it's the same band, but it's not a complete idea. And this EP is a complete idea. The reason why it's an EP, not an album, is because it's 30 minutes long. Let's talk about Kingslayer real quick.
All right, Kingslayer, quite possibly the most shocking and like most unexpected sound to come off of this EP. I had never heard baby metal before. I had zero idea what to expect. And what happened was it just blew my mind.
Yeah, I was really worried for this song for you. I thought that you would have a really negative reaction to it, because I know you don't watch anime.
Yes.
It sounds like the intro to an anime, right?
You know what it reminded me of? Like, now that I've listened to it a few times, it reminds me of the anime that is in Serenity and Firefly, the TV series. And they have that anime playing, and in the series and in the movie, the anime is giving like a subliminal message, like it's like a warning or something. Yeah. And that's what triggers
I forgot about
River.
that. Yeah.
And so the combination of the metal music plus baby metal, the combination of Bring Me the Horizon plus baby metal, reminded me so much of Firefly.
That makes, is definitely a crossover there.
Sci-fi nerds.
Yeah, that is cool. I was impressed with this.
Firefly deserved more than one season.
True. Give us season 2. No, this song for me, I really like this song. But it's definitely not my favorite. And it's not because there's anything wrong with it. Yeah. It's just me.
I have other songs that
for whatever reason, it just doesn't hit as hard for me as the others. But what I really did like about it was how hard Ollie went on this one.
Yes.
Yes. That was really cool to see. And then in the interview, he talks about how he didn't want it to throw back too much rather. to their early stuff. So for me, that's pretty cool insight to see. Like he doesn't ever want to go back to that sound.
He doesn't feel the need to go back to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally see that. He's
Yeah.
got an amazing voice, right? So
Yeah.
he's got to have those melodic vocals. He's learned how to write a catchy hook, right? Like that's
Yeah.
keep that.
Yeah.
But sprinkle in this every now and then, and you got a bunch of happy fans. That's for sure.
Yeah. 'Cause
So
then you keep your old fans very happy, and then you keep new
Definitely.
fans like me interested.
definitely.
And then One by One featuring Nova Twins. Again, I have no idea who Nova Twins are, but I really liked the collab between the two. So I have no idea what Nova Twins sounds like on their own, but in this song, it was spectacular. We should have done a reaction to this song.
Yeah.
I was surprised by it simply because, again, it was so absolutely different from everything else. I loved that this is the song that, like, so talking about the flow of the album, so you start way up here with Dear Diary, and then you stay up, but it's kind of going down just a little bit. Parasite Eve, Teardrops, Obey. They're still really heavy. And then you come back up a little bit with Kingslayer. With Itch for the Cure and Kingslayer. And then One by One starts to come down again. It's still heavy, but it starts to come down.
Yeah.
And then it leads into Ludens. And then Ludens leads into One Day the Only Butterflies Left Will Be in Your Chest as You March to Your Death, Towards Your Death, whatever, with Amy Lee. And so it does this really beautiful, like, arch down into that song. And as we all know, that song ends on that high note that leaves you hanging.
Yeah.
And so One by One was so incredibly necessary for this EP to have this flow.
It was. For me, it was their second sort of like radio friendly song, something that they could throw out there to the masses. I think a lot of people that don't typically listen to Bring Me the Horizon or anything heavier would really enjoy this song. But they didn't completely abandon their heavy roots on this one either.
No, I loved it.
So that, for me, this one's a great song. Almost might even be one of my second or third favorite songs.
I mean,
on the
it's
album.
probably top 5. It's weird to say that I have a top 5 on a 9-song EP.
Oh, but it's true.
But it's definitely in my top 5. And then Ludens, still not one of my personal favorites. The very first time I listened to it, I was like, meh. And I didn't give it the nicest review. I was like, it was fine.
Yeah.
As I've listened to the album several times now, again, it is a necessary song to get to where the end result was.
Well, and learning more about it too, this was really cool. And you guys pointed it out, was they wrote this song in a week in a hotel room, right? That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that is
crazy.
Absolutely insane. To have such good quality of not just writing, writing all the music, but the lyrics behind it, just the way it flowed, everything was great about this song. It sounds like a song that they took a month to create, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they did it justice. The way that they wrote the rest of the EP kind of around that portion, to make it fit, to make it feel good, like, yeah.
And obviously, I know this is just me reaching for an idea, but the fact that Ludens is based off the video game, what is it?
Death Stranding.
So since Ludens is based off Death Stranding, the video game, and I got such a Firefly Serenity vibe from Kingslayer, I can't help but feel like they're just like a bunch of nerds who play video games and watch sci-fi. And I'm pretty sure I made a Doctor Who reference earlier as well.
You did. I can't remember
which
on.
one, but there was somewhere I was like, that reminds me of Obey! The giant robots in Obey remind me of a Doctor Who
100%,
set. Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. That's the vibe I got. It's just sci-fi everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ludens, the more I've listened to it, I do like it. It is a lot heavier than what I gave it credit for in the initial review. I still think it is a little bit slow, but it's necessary to be slow to lead into Butterflies, which is what I'm just going to call that incredibly long song.
That works. That one, you go for this one, because that's your lady.
Words. I really don't know what else I can say about this that I didn't say in our reaction video. Hearing Amy Lee, first of all, anytime Amy Lee puts out new music, it's just incredible. She was a gateway for myself
Mhm.
into an alternative culture and an alternative lifestyle. Um, 17 years ago, seeing the Fallen artwork, hearing Amy Lee's voice for the first time, and having that just like mind blown feeling. I got the exact same feeling hearing her on this song.
Mhm. Well,
It
now
makes me emotional.
and you pointed it out, right? That whole first half of the song is 100% Evanescence. Like
Yes.
that is Evanescence.
Yes.
That's the sound. That's what they were going for. And that speaks a whole lot of credibility to Bring Me the Horizon and Ollie with their flexibility and recognizing good artists,
Yes.
good musicians, right? And being able to work with them and kind of bend with them. And I know for the fans that are out there that are also huge Baby Metal fans, they'd probably say the same thing about that. But with us not really knowing Baby Metal very much.
But it does make me think, it doesn't make me think, it makes me realize if this song sounds so much like Evanescence, the other songs with features on this album probably sound a lot like those bands. And sound a little bit more true to what those bands put out consistently versus what Bring Me the Horizon puts out. Amy Lee and Ollie should come out with an album together. Like, just it was so beautiful. The song itself is stunning. You guys pointed out to us the content of the lyrics, and what it's about is the relationship between Mother Earth and humans and the destruction we have caused. And like, I can't listen to this song without getting teary-eyed.
Right.
Knowing what he wrote it about.
Powerful. And
it is so powerful.
Like our initial reaction thinking about, oh, you know, it's just what do we call it? It was
that love-hate relationship.
Yeah, love-hate relationship. You know, and in that interview, Ollie talks about saying that most people who listen to it will probably just think it's an abusive relationship, which I thought was really cool. That like that's what we picked up on. And he was like, but I wanted something deeper. And that's so cool. Like that, having that double meaning on the song itself is huge. But the song, even without the double meaning on there, is so powerful. And it just pulls you in.
Yeah, it's incredibly epic. And the fact that the song, so the whole album, like I said, starts, where's my hand there? It starts up here and then it just slowly goes down. But Butterflies starts way down here and goes up and then leaves at this peak.
Yeah.
And I have goosebumps literally all over my body just thinking about it. I have never left a song feeling so like unfulfilled by it.
Yeah.
Than when that ended.
Yeah. You need more.
And you guys pointed out, and then in the interview, Ollie also said like the idea is that it will lead into whatever's next. And I have never felt more desperate in my entire life for a band to put out the next song. Because I'm like, I need to know. I need to know where this is going. And I really need Amy Lee to be on that first song. Yeah. I mean, that's just me.
Sure. For sure. No, they definitely need to do more collabs together. I think this EP altogether blew my mind.
It really did.
And it's better. It's better than other albums that are out there. I mean,
I've heard full length albums that are not this well thought out, that are not this complete sounding.
Well, I mean, it's right up there with you know, we did the album review for Trivium.
Yes.
That had a complete sound. It took you on a journey. But it wasn't it wasn't just everywhere, you know, too all over the place, right?
Yeah, there was that consistent thread throughout the entire album.
And I'd put this EP on the same level as their full entire album.
I agree.
For sure. And then even some other albums that have come out, like Moths to the Flame, just put out a new album. That's a fantastic album.
Whenever you say Moths to the Flame, all I can think of is Lady Gaga performing with Metallica at the Grammys. At the Academy Awards. Because Metallica got put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she performed with them. And the performance was incredible. And everyone at the Academy Awards was like, Because they performed Moth to the Flame.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
That's where it came
that
from.
was a
Okay,
very
I was like,
long.
okay, I like this story. This is neat.
Yeah, they performed
yeah.
that song.
But anyways, that album's really good too, and it's a really long album. But I would put this EP right up there with that, if not better. Anyways,
Yeah.
and it's 9 songs and 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I can't.
It's technically 8 songs because Dear Diary
Mhm.
and Itch for the Cure. Dear Diary is less than 3 minutes. Itch for the Cure is less than 2 minutes.
And
You put them together, they're one song.
Right.
So it's technically an 8-song album, even.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it is, and it's
8-song EP.
8-song EP. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's only Teardrops for me is the only song on there that I would say would compete like song of the year for me personally.
It 100% could.
But the EP altogether, I'm having a real hard time justifying anything else put out that is as solid of a project.
I agree. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like someone else put out something better, more well-rounded than this? Because I just don't see it. I don't see it getting better than this, honestly.
Yeah, there's not much.
There's not much.
There's not much.
Like some good music has been put out this year, no doubt.
It's been really good music this year.
And bands have put out some incredible full-length albums, but this is on another level.
This is good. This is really good. It definitely like sets the bar for everybody else.
I agree. And for me, this has been a superb introduction to Bring Me the Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
We asked a few videos back if you guys wanted us to review this album song by song, or if you wanted us to just jump straight into old stuff, and we will officially be reacting to old music. You guys have come up with a incredible list of songs that we need to react to. And I, for one, definitely want to react to the song featuring Danny from Cradle of Filth.
Oh, yeah. That should be good.
Our reactions to Cradle of Filth, I have gotten super into that band.
Yeah.
So I desperately want to react to that as
That'll
well.
Be a fun one, yeah.
And more BABYMETAL, because they shocked me so much. They blew my mind so much. Yeah. So there's going to be some good stuff. All of that to say, there's going to be some good stuff coming up. Some old Bring Me the Horizon and some new other stuff. That was real clear, not vague at all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it wasn't too long-winded. It probably was, because that's just what we do.
That's our style.
Everything we talked about, all of the music and all of the interviews we reference, all of them. The one interview we reference will be linked down in the description box. Also in the description box will be a link to our merch shop. We do have our mugs. We no longer have our exclusive 1,000 follower mugs, because you guys have blown us past the 1,000 follower mark. And it is truly thanks to Bring Me the Horizon fans that we have gotten to where we're at. So check out that merch shop, see if there's anything there that you like. But also a really easy way to support this channel is just share these videos, like it, subscribe, and comment. Leave us your thoughts and ideas of what you want us to react to next.
And we'll just catch you guys on the next one.